Welcome back, guys. This is episode number 4 of the $0 to $2 million challenge. It is currently August 8th, 11 a.m. So I have today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow to grind as much 1-3 as possible before I leave to the World Series of Poker Calgary on the 11th. So that's going to be this entire video. It's going to be 30 hours of live 1-3, perhaps some micro stakes tournaments. I don't know yet, but we're going to try to build a bankroll, get out of the negative, and hopefully have some bullets to fire some tournaments over the World Series of Poker Calgary. That's it for me, guys. Let's jump straight into some poker hands. See you there. Welcome to the hand histories. We're playing 1-3 over at Park Casino in for $500. Won a few small pots, which brings us to our first hand of note. Pocket queens in the hijack. We open up to $10. We get 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to this flop. It comes down really nice. It comes down queen, jack, 10 with 2 diamonds. We flop ourselves top set. Action checks to me. Going to start with a small bet here. You do not want to go big here, especially 4 ways. So 15, and then button snap raises to 30. Pulls back to me, and I think about it for a bit, and I do not want to re-raise here. If he calls, we're just getting it in dead. There is 16 combos of ace-king. They just don't 3-bet ace-king for whatever reason. So there's still 16 combos of ace-king. There's 16 combos of 9-8. Maybe he plays king-9 offsuit, so another 16 combos of that, which is like 48 that beat us, compared to the 9 combos of jack-10 that we're hoping him to have. So that's not great odds. So I'm just going to call, proceed with caution. The turn is devastating. It is the 8 of diamonds. I check it over, and now my opponent just snap bets again. 100 into the middle, a pot-sized wager. We're going to call one more street and just hope that he checks back the river or hope to boat up. So I make the call. We're off to the river. It is the 4 of hearts. Unfortunate. I check it over to my opponent, and he wastes no time at all and snap shoving all in for 260. We're just never good here. We're hoping he's turning jack 10 into a bluff. He didn't even think about it long enough to have those thoughts. So we are just dead here. I make the fold and my opponent rolls over pocket jacks. What? What do you mean pocket jacks? No re-raise pre-flop. You min-raise the flop and you managed to blow me off. The only hand that you beat that will fold to you. I'm not folding a 9, I'm not folding a flush, but you somehow know that I have pocket queens and will fold if you turn your jacks into a bluff with 2 seconds of thought. Ugh. What is going on? All right, that is a brutal way to start our session, and now we are once again beginning our session deep in the negative. All right, it is our turn with the pocket jacks. The button straddle is live. There are 4 callers, so I bump it up to $35. We still get 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to this flop, which comes down king, king, 7, rainbow. Action checks to me, and good enough board for us. I'm going to bet. We do need some protection from some queen X and ace X, and some 7X most likely, and still a lot of hands can call that we can get value from. So $30 into the middle. I go very small here, 4 ways. The under the gun player calls and both other players fold. Off to turn, it is the 8 of diamonds, doesn't change much. My opponent checks it to me, and it's getting a little bit too thin here to keep barreling, so I just check it back. River, it's not great, it's the ace of spades, but my opponent once again checks it to me, and after a little bit of thought, there aren't too many ace-high hands that are going to float here besides ace-7. I don't know, maybe he's just crazy and limp called ace-queen and then called on flop because it just happens for whatever reason. But I think that he's most likely got a pocket pair, 6s, 5s, 9s, or 10s, something like that. He would have bet at some point if he had a set, I think. So I'm going to go for some pretty thin value. I think this is definitely reasonable. I'm not going to go too big because I don't expect him to ever bluff. So 115 in the middle, targeting pocket pairs and maybe some 7X. And we put him deep in the tank. After about a minute in the tank, I am pretty certain that he does not have an ace, so I'm feeling really good. We are hoping for a call now. And after another couple of minutes, very, very, very long tank, My opponent decides to call. I announce pocket jacks, and he shows king jack off for trips. All right, on to the next hand. We are going to reload. We are in the game now for, I think, $700. Just a couple hands later, I am on mega monkey tilt right now. Just so frustrated. I had some 3-bet pots where I got led into on like an ace-king high board. I just folded my queens. Just annoying stuff. This is only like a couple hands later, and I open up the 6-4 of diamonds. Player to my left now makes it $40. Quite large. I'm probably just going to fold, but now we got a cold caller from the cutoff as well as the button, so getting decent odds, and we definitely have the clearance here, so I make the call as well. We go 4 ways to this flop, which comes down queen, 10, 9. We got ourselves a flush draw here. I check it over, and the original 3-better wastes no time at all, just snap shoving his $276 into the $164 pot. Pretty frustrating now. I'm getting really annoyed because now I have to fold my flush draw. Why did I just throw away $40? But cutoff folds, and now button reshoves for 460, and we had this spot in the last video where we had a flush draw facing an overbet and a call, and now we're just priced in to call with our flush draw, as long as under the gun +2 does not have like ace king or ace jack of diamonds. But given that he made it $40 pre-flop, I played with him quite a bit. He just never has ace king suited here, and he's not 3-betting ace jack suited. He has pocket aces or pocket kings here, and button probably has like a 2-pair or set or ace queen type hand, so we are unfortunately getting the correct price to call. Let's stick it in and hope for the best. The turn is the king of spades, the river, the 3 of spades we show, and of course we're up against pocket kings and pocket 9s for bottom set, and kings turn top set, and we are going to lose that one, and now we're in the game for $1,200. Oh boy. On to this next hand. We open it up to $10 of the king queen off, folds around to the big blind, who puts in the re-raise up to $50. A very large re-raise here. He's on the 2-5 list. He looks like a young kid that probably studies, so I'm going to go for the 4-bet bluff here, and I bump it up to 125. He doesn't waste too much time, and then just shoves on us, and we lose another $125. Okay, we're in the game for $1,300 now. All right, let's try turn things around. We open up the pocket 8s up to $10. Hijack calls, button calls, small blind calls, and big blind calls. We're going 5 ways to this flop, which comes down 8, 5, 4, 2 spades. We got top set here once again. Action checks to me. I start with a small bet of 15. Hijack makes a call, and now button puts in the raise up to $70. Once again, getting raised here out of position with top set. And once again, I don't think we want to 3-bet the flop. If he's going crazy, we want to let him keep his bluffs in. We can always just fold on spade runouts. And if they just keep going wild, if I fold set over set again because they just pile money in with no regard for what's going on, I'm going to be fuming. But we are here to play good poker. I make the call, and hijack tank folds. Off to the turn, it is the deuce of clubs. You love to see it. That's a beautiful card. I check once again, and my opponent puts in another big bet, 150 into the middle. I'm starting, alarm bells are going, you guys, but it is too soon to fold. We once again make the call. We head to the river. Let's keep it clean. It is the 5 of diamonds, so we do lose to quads now, which kind of sucks, but check it over once again, and my opponent puts in another bet, this time a little bit on the smaller side of 195. If he's got quads, but we do beat 7-6 now, which is really nice. So I move all in, and my opponent hates it and actually folds. He had, I think, 7-3 of spades, so very lucky to dodge that combo draw there. Let's keep this momentum going with the ace queen of diamonds. Middle position has limp, cut off a 2-5 reg. I actually recognize him from when I used to play like 10 years ago. He's bumped up to 15. We got ace queen suited. We re-raise up to $50. Middle position now overcalls, and cutoff now in the tank decides to 4-bet, but makes it really big, 225. That's a huge 4-bet here, and it feels a bit bluffy. Why would you go so big and leave yourself so little behind? It just seems a little bit silly. And after thinking for a little bit, he also 4-bet really fast, which people generally don't do. I don't really like calling here, and I wouldn't mind folding out a hand like pocket jacks, pocket tens, maybe some ace queens as well. I might even be able to get a fold out of ace king as well, because we are quite deep here. We're over 200 big blinds effective, so I am gonna go for it. I move all in. $900 effective is like $675 or so. Middle position gets out the way, and cutoff is deep in the tank. Starts asking me questions. I'm just staring at the table. He does something a little bit weird too. I'm just sitting there staring at the table, and he goes, wah, wah. All right, settle down, man. This is 1-3. Get over yourself. Anyways, after a while, he makes it sound like he has pocket kings. He says, I've never folded this before, or I've only folded this a couple times, and then folds. Doubt he had pocket kings. That just sounds insane, but he says he was pretty sure I had aces. Anyways, chipping up again. On to the next hand. We are only stuck $200 now. Let's keep it going. There are 3 limps. I bump it up to $25 with Jack 10 of diamonds. One of the limpers calls, and so does a low jack. So we're going 3 ways to this flop of king 5-4 with 2 diamonds. Got ourselves a flush draw here. Action checks to me. We always start with a small bet, 25 into the middle. Middle position makes a call, and low jack folds. Off to the turn, it's pretty good. It's a 10 of clubs. Middle position checks to me again, and I was already going to check back the turn because the pot's 132 and he's got 239 behind, so I don't want to bet and get shoved on and have to fold. But now that we pick up some showdown value, we are definitely checking. Off to the river. It's nice. It's the Jack of Hearts improving us to 2 pair. My opponent once again checks it to me, and it's time to go for some value. Let's target a hand like a King X, some King Queen perhaps. So I move 130 into the middle, a pot-sized bet. And after a bit of tanking, my opponent announces all in. Oh, that's really annoying. I don't think we can fold this. What if he's doing it like King Queen? He's not doing the King Queen. Maybe 5-4 that chose not to raise the flop. I don't know. The price is too good. It's again 6-1 here. So I make the call, and he shows us the King 10 offsuit, and we are down $500 again. Moving things along, we have an under the gun raise to 15. The same player as the last hand has now 3-bet to $38, and we look down at pocket kings. Cold 4-bet incoming, 105 into the middle, and only the 3-better makes a call. We go heads up to a flop of ace 10-4 with 2 hearts. He checks to me. We're going to start with a small bet here, and most likely going to shove any heart turn. So I bet 60, and he snap shoves all in. We fold, and we are up against the ace king. In this next hand, the same player as the last hand is raised to 15. I decide to flat with the ace 7 of clubs to his left. This invites both the blinds in. 4 ways to a flop of 9, 4, 3, 2 clubs, and a spade. Action actually checks to me, so we are going to start betting here. 15 into the middle. I thought it was 3-handed, so meant to bet 1/3. Anyways, the small blind, big blind, and the hijack make the call. We go 4 ways to this turn, which is 10 of clubs. We make our flush, and even better, hijack now decides to lead $40 into us. I think we are definitely going to raise here and just pray that small blind or big blind have either a set that they slow played or a lower flush here, and they just come over the top. So I bump it up to 120. Small blind and big blind get out the way, and hijack makes a call. We head to the river. It is the deuce of clubs. Very unfortunate, but hijack now just donks into us for $50, so we make the call, and we are good against the King 10 with the King of clubs. Chipping up a little bit here. We are about $200 away from even at this point. All right, guys, wrapping up that session at Park Casino. We played exactly 10 hours, hit my goal. We were in for buckets. In for 500, and then we topped off for 200, and we lost everything with that stupid 6-4 suited punt. And then we rebought for another 500, so we're in for 12, topped off for 100, topped off 100. We were in the game for $1,400 total, and we managed to cash out for a whopping total of $1,620. That is a $220 win, you guys. A pretty small one for a 10-hour session at 1-3, but still happy to climb out of that ridiculous hole, and I still cannot believe I set over set someone on the flop and still managed to lose the hand. 1-3 is just absolutely wild, but let's jump straight into tomorrow's hands. We are coming back here to Park Casino to play some more 1-3. I'll see you guys there. All right, let's try and get some redemption with these pocket threes. There are 2 limps, and I bump it up to $20. We get a lot of callers. We are going 4 ways to this flop, which comes down beautiful. Ace, ace, 3. We flop the full house. Action checks to me. I start with a small bet of $20. Unfortunately, the only person that calls has less than a pot-sized bet behind. The other 2 players are like 400 behind. But anyways, we go to the turn. It is the 7 of clubs. When he's 45 behind, we can shove, but let's just try and milk him. I put in 20, and he makes the call again. We go to the river. Please no 7 or ace. It comes down the 3 of hearts. That is quads for us. I put in the remaining 25, and he probably doesn't have anything here. I think he plays the board or has like king high or something here. I think he missed his flush draw or something. He eventually decides, whatever. I call, and our quads are indeed good. All right, it's everybody's favorite hand. The button straddle is live. Under the gun +2 has limped, and I bump it up to $20 with the aces. Only the button and the limper make the call, so we're going 3 ways to this flop of 10, 8 for rainbow. Under the gun +2 now donks for $20. All right, we could raise, but I played with him quite a bit, and he just tends to overfold to aggression, so I'm just going to keep his range wide and make the call, and button calls behind. Head to the turn. Please don't pair the board. It's the 7 of hearts. That's a pretty dangerous card. 8-7 got there. 10-7 suited. Some jack-9s, 9-6. Not a great card, but when he leads for only $25, we're going to have to raise for protection here. He could have a hand like 10-9, 8-9 that has to call. And if button comes along, we are obviously down to the hand once again. But I raise up to $90. Button folds, and my opponent makes the call. We go to the river. It is the deuce of spades, a beautiful blank. He checks it to me, and there's only one option here. We move all in for his remaining 170. And after a little bit of thought, my opponent decides not to pay us off. But another pot coming our way. It's feeling good. The momentum's back on our side. Picking up another premium here. There's a raise to $10, and we bump up the pocket jacks to $35. We get 2 cold callers, and the original raiser makes the call. So we're going 4 ways to this flop, which comes down king, queen, jack. That is bottom set. We are hitting some sets today. Action checks to me. Always going to be a small bet here. 35 into the middle. Cut off. Folds. Small blind makes the call, and under the gun folds as well. We go heads up to the turn. It is the 9 of diamonds. Not great. This is like deja vu when we had the pocket queen set. He checks it to me, and I see no sense in betting here, so I just check this back. River. It's the 5 of spades. My opponent wastes no time at all in piling his chips up into 1 stack, moving them into the middle. All right, if you got a 10, you got a 10. I'm running way too bad at this point to be folding sets, so I make the call, and he shows us nothing. We win. Amazing. We're up to $1,000, but we are still down quite a bit on this session, but it's still nice to pick that up. Before this hand, we spent about 2 hours just raising and losing about $300 or $400 just whiffing flops. It was brutal. On to this next hand. We picked up a few small pots here, and we are finally in profit for about 10 minutes now. So we get to this hand. Button straddle, small blind has called, and middle position has made it $20, a pretty small raise. So I decided to turn my king queen off into a bluff here and bump it up to $65. We get another cold call from the small blind, and middle position also makes a call. We're going 3 ways to this flop of 9, 6, 6, 2 spades, 1 club. Action checks to me, and I decide not to c-bet here. I think there's too many hands that can continue here. And, you know, anything that's 10s plus is just going to be an easy call. So I decide to give this one up. The turn is the ace of hearts, so not bad. Action once again checks to me, and these players, if they hit the ace, they almost always just bet. Even if it's like ace 5 suited, they just bet. So I'm going to turn my king queen off into a bluff, try to fold out some 10s or jacks, something like that. I put in 120, small blind folds, and middle position, after a bit of thought, makes the call. We head to the river. It is the 4 of clubs. He checks it to me, and I decide just to give this one up. I check it back, and we ran into the ace, queen of diamonds. Surprised to see such a small raise with a hand that strong, but oh well. That one is not going to go our way, and now we are stuck about $35. All right, fellas, another session at Park, another painful 8.5 hours. I could not make it to 10, just getting a little bit too frustrated. So called it quits a little bit early. We were in the game for $900. We spent about 10 minutes in Profitville. The rest of it, we're just battling to get unstuck. We ended $770 is our cash out for a loss of $130. which means over the 18.5 hours we played this video, we are only up $90. That is pitiful. It doesn't even cover rent. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to play some live poker. I'm probably going to play on GG a bit. I have to edit this video. I have to pack. I've got a dinner, and we're going to get ready for Calgary. So that is that. I just need a little break from live poker. Just getting donked into in 3-bet pots on like ace king high boards just drive me mental. It's mental. Can't really fault them, right? They don't study poker. They don't know poker. It's just still frustrating. Anyways, that is it from me, you guys. I will either see you in the outro, or hopefully a final table or two that we're gonna play tomorrow. Let's hope for this one, the final table. See you guys there. All right, folks, that is going to wrap up this video. That's days 14 to 16. We played 18.5 hours of poker, and today is day 16. I just spent all day editing this video, packing, doing laundry, getting ready for Calgary, which is tomorrow. We did not manage to make any money, so it's going to be a very tight schedule. Might only fire maybe $800 for the tournaments and a lot of cash. If I do well in those, I will fire one $1,700 main event bullet. Just throw that money into the abyss, essentially. So let's see, for this video, we spent $159. Not bad for 3 days. $82 of that was gas, so not bad. I'm keeping my spending under $30 a day. I like that. We won $90 at poker, which is shit. Which is a negative $69 to the net worth. That is unfortunate, bringing the total net worth down to negative $1,954. We have $2,000 in cash going over to the World Series of Poker Calgary, and I am most likely going to take out more money via a very expensive cash advance. And when we get back home, if we do not win at least $5,000, we are going to get a job so that we can continue this series and continue providing you guys content. Please just like. I need that YouTube ad revenue because poker is not working out for me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much once again for watching. Do the things below, please. And I'll see you guys next video.